Well, good morning from Bramall Lane, Sheffield United. I'm here today for their game against Ipswich Town. It's in the Women's Super League 2, League Division 2, and I'm actually shooting for Ipswich today. So, as you can see, I'm squinting away, the sun's shining, but I'm here in good time. So, yeah, I'm shooting for Richard Carver today, who's the, trying to get out of the sun. Richard Carver rang up, who's the Ipswich Town photographer. He said, "Hey, I've got a game at Norwich in the men's championship on Sunday. Any chance you could cover the women's Super League game?" So yeah, jumped at the chance. So it's going to be great. I've not done a women's game for quite a while, and not been to Sheffield United for quite a while. So yeah, really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be, well, changeable conditions today. As you can see, there's a bit of cloud about. There is behind me. Look over there, quite a lot of cloud about. So right, we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'll go and get signed on and show you inside the ground. Well, I've got my pass sorted and I've just jumped up into the stand just to get a few GVs. I've been in the dressing room and already got a few of the shirts hanging up and that. Quite a privilege to jump into the changing room. I don't usually get into places like that, but yeah, we're all set up. Just doing a few on the widey, get some GVs, and we'll crack on. Well, as you know, usually I'll take you down now to where I'm going to sit. But for this game, obviously shooting for Ipswich, both halves, and I'm not sure which way they're going to be shooting until the coin toss. So I'm going to knock about and leave all my stuff in the dugout. And just before kick-off, I'll obviously know which way Ipswich are shooting, and I'll dash over and get set up. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. It's going to be an exciting game. Job's good, and catch up in a bit. Right, as you can see, I'm back home again. It got to the end of the game and I was just following the players around a bit, and I had to do a bit more than usual, so that meant I had to send off a bit more than usual, and I thought, it's only about 4 o'clock. I'm going to nip off home and I'll make the video back at home. So yeah, we're back at home, but I don't think you guys mind too much. As long as I go through the set and tell you what I think, that's the main thing, I guess. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the set. Well, as you can guess, this is going to be totally Ipswich heavy. I did get shots of Sheffield United, but I don't know, when you get told to photograph a certain team or you're there for a certain team, you do get a little bit blinkered and you're picking out players, you know, even if they're not part of the play, you're picking them out for a bit of stock photography or whatever. And I did get the Sheffield United goals. Oh, it ended up being 3-2 to Sheffield United, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, I was there for Ipswich. But yeah, I was willing the girls on, but they never quite got the equaliser. But cracking game, and it's great to watch. Hopefully I'll get another Ipswich game again soon. But yeah, really enjoy it, and they don't mess about. They don't. They're kicking and fouling and getting straight back up, and there's even a red card in this set. But anyway, let's have a look. So yeah, I was straight into the dressing room just to once the kit man he wasn't quite done, so I just wanted to get one or two of the captain's shirt. So yeah, as you can see here, captain's shirt, and then bit of a widey of you know, just going from the keeper upwards. And then I did actually, you'll see in a minute, I did actually go back to the kit room, to the dressing room later on, once I knew that the kit man was all finished, and got a widey, but you'll see that in a bit. But yeah, just one or two, just painting the scene, just in case social media, because this was going straight onto their hot file, so just in case they wanted anything pre-match, literally shot these, went out to the dugout where I was sort of camped up, and got them sent off. And that's what it was. I was getting about a dozen straight back to the laptop, uploading, sending, just to keep social, you know, the social media guys happy and with fresh content. So yeah, that was the name of the game really throughout the game. But yeah, then outside and just getting some GVs in the ground, and the sun, you'll see in a minute, all the girls and that were all like this, and God, it was so bright, it was. But anyway, we made the best of a bad job, and just 2 or 3 GVs. And actually, you can see this one. I don't know if you can see, and I do spot it now and again on my own. I've taken too many shadows out of this image, and it just looks sort of hazy, I guess. I could have put a little bit of I could have dehazed it a bit. In fact, let's just dehaze it now. Let's just have a look. Let's send that into Photoshop. Let's go Shift Command A, which brings up my raws, and let's just go and have a look what dehazing will do, because when you take too many shadows out, I'll show you what I mean. You can see how it's gone really hazy and almost a false colour. That red just does not look red, does it? See, that's actually what it was like, something like that. I've just overcooked it a bit there, look. But let's have a look at that dehaze anyway. Yeah, you see, it's bringing the clouds out as well, look. Obviously, it's making the blues a bit. But I still think I've gone too overboard with the shadows, look. If I should have gone about there, you know, really. But anyway, let's just have a look at that. That's with a bit of dehaze and taking the shadows down again. Let's just go before. Can you see it's just gone a little bit fuzzy, a little bit... There you are, look, you can just see the haze coming back. But anyway, just thought I'd point that out to you. I did notice it when I was picking through the set. But anyway, let's carry on. So, oh no, we're not. Let's get back into... There we are, look. Let's go back into that. But yeah, I do like to get the seats, especially when there's some lettering in the far stand. You know, the leading lines, a bit like in landscape photography. Use the leading lines. So you've got the leading lines here, especially this one that takes your eye up there and then round, and then you've got these 3 white posts that are sort of almost pointing down to SUFC. So quite like this composition, and I think they use that on the socials, I think. But anyway, just going through the old the SUFC through the net. I've done that when I've been doing it for Premier League as well before. It just fits nice, that SUFC does, in a net square. But and then one through the goal again with SUFC there, look. And now then, I put the aperture right up here, look, because I put it up to f/29, look, at a 50th. ISO's plenty high enough, really, but I wanted the ball and blades to be sharp, and we just about achieved that. But and that's at f/29, so massive depth to make sure that I got both pretty sharp. So that worked out all right. And then that worked pretty much all right. And then just getting ready for the staff and the players arriving, and really privileged. Don't do it very often, but for this particular game, obviously I was shooting for Ipswich, and I was allowed into next to the dressing room in the stand, if you like. So yeah, got the manager arriving, and then it was ever so tricky. You can just see one light here, but oh, excuse me, but you can just see one light here, and I was trying to use the light because they'd walk under it and it'd light their skin tones up nicely, and then it'd go dark. And I was trying to just time it right so that they were walking underneath the light, and it was just lighting them up a bit. But it kind of worked for most of them. But I'm just picking out a few here. You can see one of them lights there, look, and obviously she's above one, and it's when you look at the difference, look, a bit dark there and nice and light there. But anyway, we got a few coming in. And then quickly nipped outside. I just had time to send them few before the girls came out to look at the pitch. So just 1 or 2. And now I've got this in mind here to try and get at least one composition with the girls coming out and this in the background. And managed it there, look. So quite happy with that. And there's a cleaner one there. That's nice and clean. And that turned out to be the captain, actually. So that worked out really well. And I think they used that one on the socials again. So that was good. Just pot luck. Obviously at that point I didn't really know who the captain was. But anyway, yes, that's the captain coming out, and then just the gaffer coming out and having a look round. Then, like I said, I shot back to the dressing room, hoping that the kit man was sorted, and he was. So that was good. So got that one. And then back outside again, just for the girls. They were on the pitch ages, so I just nipped back in, got one of the dressing room, because I wanted to send the socials one, and then back outside and got the girls milling about. And you can see how bright it is. Look at this lass here, squinting away. And then back into the stand like I usually do to try and get a nice green backdrop, and I'm waiting for the gaffer to turn round, look, and he did in the end. These girls were having a laugh and a mess about, and you see how bright it is, look. And then there he is, look. I thought, oh yes, he's turned round, he's having a chat with the girls, good. And do I keep going out of focus? That's it, I keep still. But yeah, gaffer having a chat with the girls, which is good. And then into warm-up. Obviously, I'd already sent them, and then into warm-up now. And you can see how bright it is. Look, really battling the high tones, but we got away with it. And 3 or 4 of a warm-up, quite like this one. And then there's another one where they're all warming up in a minute. Yeah, I like that one. I got a nice low angle. And this is actually taken on this camera that I'm filming on the little M50, and it works a treat. I set it up, look, 2,000th of a second, 3.5, ISO 160 at 15mm, and yeah, that worked a treat, my little M50, which is my widey at the minute. And then one or two more warm-up, do like that one there, having a bit of a laugh playing keepy-uppy. But that was good. And then just wanted to get one or two of the captain just in action before she came out, obviously, for the game. And you can see how bright it is, look, almost the backdrop is almost totally burnt out just to get the right tones for the manager. And I had to use the dehaze tool there. But and then massive privilege. The guy said you can stand on the pitch if you like and get the ref and the players walking towards you. So I got the ref grabbing the ball and then I quickly skimmed out the way. I panicked a bit and got out the way. Did get one of captain leading out players, which was quite nice. Little bit annoyed perhaps that I didn't stay knelt down, but I was trying to get out the way. And I've chopped her legs off, look, which is a little bit annoying, but probably being a bit too much of a perfectionist. But at least I got her leading the team out, which was good. And then a quick team shot. Now then, didn't take my flash. Would it have worked better with flash? I think it probably would have done. Let me know what you think in the comments. But it would have certainly brought the tones out better and darkened off the backdrop. But anyway, we got away with that. Not too bad. Apparently they have one of them shots at the start of every game, so that was good. And then a bit of a team huddle, and we're off into the game. And I'm just filling my boots. Like I said, hardly any Sheffield United here. It's all going to be Ipswich. But lots of action. And of course, the only thing you're up against, no fans there. There was only in one stand, and that was to the side. There was, I don't know how many were there. I want to say 300-400 people probably. But good enough to make a bit of noise, but you could hear the girls shouting, that was a fact. And then, yeah, just lots of action really. Nice shot, you can see the crowd there, look, which adds to it a bit. But yeah, just dotted about they were. But I think that was deflected and went out for a corner. And yeah, this is after the corner, look, so just plenty of play. I was trying to get blades in best I could, but that's the best I got, I think. But it's all right. Not too bad, better than an empty stand. At least I got some lettering. But another shot here that went over the bar, I think. Another shot here, that one went wide. And I was willing them to go in. And I think at this point, Sheffield United were probably 2-0 up, can't remember, something like that. But they did make a bit of a comeback in the end, the Ipswich girls. But one of the captain there, just in action. And quite like this one, 2 and 2, and then she's framed in the middle. I know if you want to be picky, she's just lost a bit there with that hand, but I quite like that. She's nicely framed there, and obviously looking concentration on her face, and yeah, quite like that one. Just lots of action really to show you here. Even the keeper again. I say it every video. Love that R5 for the pull. Keeper's lovely and sharp there, look. And then there was a bit of an injury break, so just getting the gaffer, just giving him a bit of a team talk. Look at this one. She was laying down there, and I think the ref. She soon got up. The ref just said, "Play on." But now then, this was the goal. I just didn't quite get it, but it looks like she's tapped that in, and she actually did, but about 3 yards back here, and the ball's actually bounced back off the net and just coming back towards the line, and so it's not purely the goal, but it's not far off. So just thought I'd get that one. No celebration because I think they were 3-1 down at this point. So yeah, straight back to the centre spot, and then. When did she score that? So she scored that at 2:12, and then 2:18 she scored a cracking header, really good header, nice cross in, crisp header, and bosh, in it went. And there was a bit more celebration this time. She was running away from me, but I got her teammate here giving her a high five, and then I just followed her like I've said in the past. Always follow the goal scorer. If you haven't got much, they might just turn round and give a bit of a fist punch, and that's exactly what she did to her mate here. And that was nice, bit of a high five, and that was that. But ended up 3-2, unfortunately. But one more the gaffer, and then I like this one. He's watching play. I know some of you don't like these messy frames, but I like them. But it tells a story. He's just giving a few instruction out, and plays obviously near me, and he's watching play, so I quite like that. And then, this was nearly 4-2 Sheffield United, and this player here just managed to block a shot. I can't think if it was from 41, but yeah, a great block. Totally sent the keeper the wrong way, I think, here, look. And great block, kept it at 3-2, but they just never quite clawed it back, which was unfortunate. Oh no, here's the red card. Now then, this player here, I'm sure she was chopping at the heels of the player that eventually got sent off, but unfortunately, the player that was getting her heels chipped at just retaliated and went for a bit of a slap, and straight red card. See a bit of argy-bargy here, look, and they're pushing her out the way, and then there we go, red card, you're off, my love. And I think she was a bit devastated, probably that she knew she shouldn't have lashed out, but anyway, and that was that. Off you go, and they were down to 10 men, but they battled on. They battled on and nearly equalised, but yeah, and that's it, full time then. And most of the players, I think in past women's games they've done this, they go across to the fans and to the family and just have a bit of reassurance or, you know, celebration sometimes. So that was nice. I'm pretty sure that's the goalkeeper's parents. I think Mum looks pretty similar looking, look. And yeah, they were just having a chat, and I think she's going there, bloody hell, fancy letting 3 in. But that's the name of the game, innit? You win some, you lose some. And yeah, I think she was a bit disappointed she'd let 3 in. But anyway, nice to see him mingling with the parents. Even the gaffer came out and was hugging the fans and that. So that's really nice after the game. And then, now why is this gone? Oh, I didn't put it on timed, that's why. But so we're going to get 1 or 2 more here, look. And then referee shaking the ref's hands. And then this was nice as well. Bit of a team huddle. And I was allowed back on the pitch just to get the huddle. And 1 or 2 others. And that's it. I think that's it to finish. Yeah, that's it to finish. Yeah, absolutely massive privilege to get in the stand and get the teams and the players and whatever making their way down into the tunnel and down to the dressing room. So that was great. Something that I don't always do. And then being allowed on the pitch before the ref comes out, and then for the huddle here. Shame there's no fans, but anyway, not to worry. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, might get 1 or 2 more Ipswich games up this way, and that'll be good just to mix it up a bit with the women's and the men's game. And yeah, job's a good one. Right, well, that's a little bit of an extra video for you. Hope your week's going all right. There'll be another one from, where was I at the weekend? Where did I go? Can't even remember where I went now. Grimsby, wasn't it? The little extra shift that I wasn't down forgetting. Yeah, so that was Grimsby, Colchester, and nice little surprise there coming up. But yeah, because that was Grimsby were 3rd and Colchester were 19th. I've almost given it away. But anyway, tune in Friday for that video. And yeah, look forward to your comments, guys. And yeah, job's a good one. Enjoy the rest of the week. Catch up on Friday. Job's a good one.